Assalamu alaikum student and friends. I'm Dr. Nizamuddin. Today I am going to present chemistry of phenols. In this chapter we will cover today the nomenclature of phenols, properties of phenols, synthesis of phenols, and then reactions of phenols, and lastly we have some questions. First, as you know, the first one, this is the parent molecule of phenol having one hydroxyl group. If we have two aromatic ring and one hydroxyl group, it is known as the derivative 1-naphthol or alpha-naphthol. When we have three aromatic ring and at this position we have the hydroxyl group, this structure is known as 9-phenanthrol, which is another derivative of phenol. Uh, Phenol is basically a monohydroxyl aromatic compound. If we have some other group, phenol will be considered as the carbon number 1. Let's say, for example, in this case, it is containing fluoro group at carbon number 4 with respect to the hydroxyl group, so named 4-chlorophenol. Similarly, if we have a methyl group next to the hydroxyl group, which is also known as the ortho position, and the name will be 2-methylphenol. In another example, when you have the nitro group, it corresponds to the hydroxyl group at position number 3, will be named as 3-nitrophenol. If we have the aromatic ring having hydroxyl group and more substituted structure, see in this case, we have the bromo and methyl group on both sides of the hydroxyl group. In this case, priority will be given to the heavier atomic number containing group, which is the bromo here. So we will start numbering from this side, and then at 2 position we have the bromo, at 4 position we have the chloro, and at 6 position we have the methyl group. The name will be 2 bromo, 4 chloro, 6 methyl phenol. We have some common names for the phenols having more than one hydroxyl group. Let's say, for example, if we have another hydroxyl group next to the first hydroxyl group, which is known as 1,2-benzene diol, and its common name is catechol. Similarly, if we have hydroxyl group at carbon number 3 corresponding to carbon number 1, we named 1,3-benzene diol, which is known as resorcinol. And in the next example, if we have the hydroxyl group at 4th position correspond to this hydroxyl group is known as 1,4-benzene diol, known as hydroquinone. Our next topic is properties of phenol. Phenol considered as a weak acid. If we compare phenol with open or acyclic alcohol, like here we have the cyclohexanol, and see the pKa values of the cyclohexanol, which is 18. Phenol pKa value is 9.89. It shows that phenol is much more acidic as compared to the cyclohexanol. And we know that the lower the pKa, the stronger the acidity is. Why it is so? If cyclohexanol get deprotonated and give this structure, which is basically anion of the cyclohexanol, and there is no resonance stabilization. While when we see the structure of a phenol or its any derivative, and it becomes deprotonate to give you a corresponding phenoxide ion, it has so many resonance stabilization or resonance structure. In this case, when this lone pair will collapse here and this pi electron will move towards this carbon, we have the negative charge at Arthur position. And then in the other resonating structure, this negative charge will collapse at this carbon and this pi bond will resonate at this carbon, which is para to this carbon. And again, it will resonate here and this pi bond will resonate at this carbon. We have this resonating structure. So because of this resonance stabilization, phenol has some acidic character. Okay, these are basically some examples which show that phenol behaves as an acid. Say, this is the simple phenol we have discussed, that phenol pKa is 9.89. Now see, if we have basically a nitro group, which is para to the corresponding phenol, its pKa is 7.15. Another example, when we have the two substituted or two dinitro containing phenol derivative, its pKa is 3.96, much lower than the monosubstituted or mononitrophenolic group. And in the another example, when we have the trinitro containing phenol, its pKa 0.38. Why it is so? It is because when we have the electron withdrawing group attached with the phenolic ring, it stabilizes the ring and makes or increases acidic character. Here you see that when the ring is basically attached with the electron donating group, its pK value is increasing. While in case of the halogen, like for example chlorine, when attached with the phenol, here mesomeric effect predominant over electron withdrawing effect. That's why its pK is increasing as compared to the other substituent. These are some phenol which behave as an acid. Okay, now we will move toward our next topic, which is synthesis of phenol. Our first topic is laboratory scale synthesis. Just we can synthesize phenol in our lab or at very large scale or the industrial scale. In the first example, if let's say for example we have the aniline derivative, here R means any group, okay, which is directly attached with the ring, or aniline itself, when treated with nitrous acid, will give you the diazonium salt. Now this diazonium salt in the presence of the copper oxide immediately attacked by the water molecule to give you the corresponding phenol. Okay, we have one example here for this reaction. For example, when we have 3-chloro-5-methyl aniline and it is treated with, in the step number 1, sodium nitrite in HCl. Keep remember, sodium nitrite in HCl react together to give you the nitrous acid. Okay, and in the next step, when we treat with the copper oxide and in water to give basically the corresponding alcohol या phenolic derivative, which is basically synthesized from the aniline derivative. We can also synthesize phenol at very large scale, or we can say at industrial scale. In industrial scale, the first process which is very famous is known as Doe process. It is basically the hydrolysis of chlorobenzene. Okay, now see here, in this chlorobenzene, in the first step, it is treated with very strong base, sodium hydroxide, at very high temperature and at very high pressure. In this case, this chlorobenzene will convert into the sodium phenooxide ion. Okay. Now, upon workup with HCl, this sodium phenooxide ion will convert into the corresponding phenol. Okay, we have another process for synthesis of phenol at large scale, or we can say that industrial scale, which is known as Hook process. Okay, this process is also known as cumene process. Now, in the first case, in this case, initially benzene react with the propene in presence of phosphoric acid at very high temperature and pressure to give you cumene, which is also known as isopropyl benzene. Now, isopropyl benzene or cumene react with a radical catalyzed reaction with give you cumene hydroperoxide. This hydrocumene and this cumene hydroperoxide then on treatment with the acidic workup to give you two important compound which are have the great utility as well as in industry or in the lab, which are phenol and acetone. Now let's see the mechanism of this reaction. This mechanism involves basically a radical catalyzed reaction, which I have discussed in the previous slide. In the first step, isopropyl benzene react with the alkyl radical to give you the benzylic radical. This is known as the benzylic radical. Okay. Now this benzylic radical in the next step immediately captured by the oxygen to yield this benzylic peroxide. This benzylic peroxide then abstract the proton from the another molecule of isopropyl benzene to give you benzylic hydroperoxide along with the benzylic radical. This is the first step, which is also known as basically the chain initiation step. Okay, next step we have the chain propagation step. In this step, this benzylic hydroperoxide was attacked by the hydronium ion, and we have basically a protonated benzylic hydroperoxide. Okay, here 1,2 migration or alkyl migration takes place. This phenyl ring migrate towards this oxygen and this water molecule will eliminate. Okay, see here in this case, and we have this intermediate here. Okay, then this water molecule will attack on this carbocation and give you this intermediate, which is basically what happened in the next step. Water molecule will abstract this proton and this bond will shift here to give you the corresponding ketone, and this bond will shift on this oxygen to give you the corresponding phenol derivative. Now we have the next topic, which is the reactions of phenol. Reactions of phenol is basically we can categorize into two parts. One, reactions of the hydroxyl group on the phenolic ring, and other one is the reaction on the aromatic ring of the phenol. Let's say the part one or part A, reactions of the hydroxyl group of the phenol. Okay, keep remember phenol when hydroxyl group react with the acidic anhydride in the presence of the base or acetyl chloride in the presence of the base will give you a basically an ester or benzyl ester. Okay, let's see an example of this reaction. Number one is phenol convert into the Williamson synthesis, or which is also known as Williamson ether synthesis. Okay, what happened in this case? when a phenol derivative or phenol itself react with a strong base like sodium hydroxide, this base abstract the proton and convert into sodium phenoxide ion or its derivative. Now immediately this own anion attack on this alkyl group and remove this halide ion to give you basically corresponding um, phenyl alkyl ether or its derivative. Let's say, for example, in this case, we have the phenol when treated with the sodium hydroxide, it will abstract the proton and this oxy anion will attack on this carbon and remove this bromine to give you phenyl propyl ether, which is also known as the Williamson ether synthesis. Our next type of the reaction of the phenol is on the aromatic ring of the phenol. The first reaction on the aromatic ring of the phenol is the bromination. Now, dear student, keep remember, phenol is basically a ring activator. If you remember, when you have only benzene, to brominate or on bromination on benzene ring, we need basically some Lewis acid like AlCl3 or FeBr3 in order to pass the reaction. While in this case, when you have the mono substituted benzene ring like phenol, which is basically a ring activator and ortho para director, there is no need of basically a catalyst. Only in the presence of the bromine, we may have 2,4,6 tribromophenol, right? At low temperature, we may have the mono substituted uh, or basically monobromine containing phenol, like in this case we have the 4-bromophenol. Same in the case of nitration, no need of a catalyst, only nitric acid is enough for the reaction at room temperature, or sometimes we say 25 degrees Celsius. We have in this case the mixture of the product, like for example we have orthonitrophenol or 4-nitrophenol, yeah, paranitrophenol. Now see here, you have basically a high yield of orthonitrophenol, yet or 2-nitrophenol, which is basically 30 to 40%. It is because of the intramolecular hydrogen bonding between oxygen and hydrogen of this one. While here we do not have the intramolecular hydrogen bonding, in this case we have the low yield of this derivative. Next example, sulfonation. In sulfonation, at room temperature, concentrated sulfuric acid will give you a kinetically controlled product of orthosulfonic acid. And if we increase the temperature, we have thermodynamically controlled product of this one. Next reaction of the phenol on aromatic ring is Kolbe-Schmidt reaction, which is also known as Kolbe process. In this case, the first step is the reaction of basically a phenol with a strong base or alkali to give you corresponding phenoxide ion. Now, then we have the carboxylation at ortho position. Okay, and on workup will give you the corresponding salicylic acid. As I mentioned earlier, that the first step is basically the reaction of the phenol with a strong base. A strong base will remove the proton to give you the corresponding phenoxide ion. Now here, what happened? The lone pair of this phenoxide ion will collapse here, and the pi electron of orthocarbon will attack on the carbon of the carbon dioxide to give you this carboxylate ion, which on tautomerization will give you sodium salicylate. This tautomerization is also known as keto-enol tautomerization. And on workup, this sodium salicylate will give you a salicylic acid. Salicylic acid is a very important commercially available compound for the production of a drug. See here, for example, when we treat the salicylic acid with acetic anhydride, and acetic acid will give you acetyl salicylic acid, which is analgesic drug, also known as aspirin, and the acetic acid. The last reaction on the phenol ring is Claisian rearrangement. Okay, this is basically involve the 3,3 sigma tropic rearrangement as well. This reaction is basically fit for both, that is the phenolic hydroxyl group and phenolic aromatic ring system. Deprotonation will take place by this sodium hydride. It's a strong base. Okay, and in the next step, this allyl bromide will allyl bromide will attack on this oxygen, and then it will migrate to this carbon to give you this structure. See the mechanism what happened in this case. As I mentioned earlier, this mechanism occur via 3,3 sigma tropic rearrangement. We will also discuss why this reaction is known as 3,3 sigma tropic rearrangement. First, see the mechanism. In the first case, what happened? This sigma bond is being broken and a new sigma bond will form at this carbon. While this pi bond will shift here, and here is the generation of a new pi bond. See, now what happened when we have basically intramolecular rearrangement? This carbon correspond with this oxygen 1, 2, 3 is basically 3, and this sigma bond which is being broken is actually 1, 2, 3, carbon number 3 with this position. That's why it is known as 3,3 sigma tropic rearrangement. Now finally what happened, this intermediate is highly unstable, and it will convert into keto form to the enol form, right? Now here we have a very simple question in order regarding the phenol. Let's say, for example, distinguish and separate phenol from alcohol and carboxylic acid. We have a question here. If you are given 3 unknown samples, one is benzoic acid, one is phenol, and one is cyclohexyl alcohol, how would you distinguish them by simple chemical test? Okay, these are basically the structure of a benzoic acid, phenol, and phenol. Okay. Now here is an example. When we treat all these, means benzoic acid, phenol, and cyclohexanol with strong base, what happened? In the first case, benzoic acid react faster with alkali to give you a salt which is soluble in water. Of course, phenol also react with sodium hydroxide to give you phenoxide ion which is soluble in water, while cyclohexanol is immiscible with sodium hydroxide solution, so there is no reaction. So now we can eliminate this one, and we have basically to identify which one is the carboxylic acid and which one is the phenol. Then we will do for further test. We will react both with sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate is much weaker base as compared to the sodium hydroxide. It will react with benzoic acid to give you the sodium benzoate salt, plus carbon dioxide gas will evolve, which is basically a confirmation that we have a carboxyl group in the structure or in the compound. While when we react phenol with sodium bicarbonate, there is no reaction. So we can distinguish between these 3 compounds by this confirmation test. Okay, see here, cyclohexanol will also have no reaction in this case. That's all for today's lecture. Hope you have enjoyed this lecture. See you soon. Bye.